Forge gang, I am still a hard man. Let's go. How are y'all doing? You know, there's so much that I could talk about besides this stupid side of the sector. Just this completely dead, and it's been stale and dry for content for years. Rick Perry says, Forge gang! How are you doing, Rick? Interdimensional Lizard says, let's go indeed! How are you doing, Interdimensional Lizard? Alright, so, look, I would rather talk about stuff that actually is interesting. Like Nick Fuentes chasing Hassan Piker into admitting his own faults. And Hassan Piker might be going to prison or something like that. Hey, what's up, Code of Truth? What's up, man? I'd rather talk about, like, Nick Fuentes ousting Hassan Piker and just this drama around Blue Sky. Apparently, Blue Sky is crashing. People are leaving it. Like, supposedly, there's a bunch of real drama, going on Blue Sky, or Blueski, and all of the troons and lefties are mad and upset, and they're spurging out on Blue Sky, and there's a big meltdown going on over there. Like, I would much rather prefer to talk about that than talk about Soberman or Dark Ninja or any of these guys, or even Cyrax, although Cyrax is more interesting than Dark Ninja. Cyrax and Chris Chan are way more interesting to talk about than Dark Ninja, much less Soberman. And even Dark Ninja has absolutely boring and putrid and lacking and lackluster as it is to talk about him. He is still funnier than Soberman. So, I'm going to get this down real fast. So, Soberman and Alistair Mycroft, I guess, have teamed up. Them and a couple of other guys that are mad or something. And so they went to onion farms. They ran over to onion farms and decided to make a thread, which, you know, DJ Axel and Brian Dunn, I don't know how you guys do it, but you guys always have the coolest subreddit threads or sub-threads. Like Adam Edge, Godwinson, the Council of Evil, the Council of Chomos, Brian Dunn, Ethan Ralph, and Medicare have these awesome sub-threads. With the exception of perhaps... No, there's no exception. They have threads on Kiwi Farms that are hundreds of pages long. Like Brian Dunn has an 800-page-long sub-thread. You know, if I had a sub-thread like that, I wouldn't even really bother to read it, though. It's just too much information, but, you know, I get nothing out of it. I get nothing. You know, I've been in this community for years, and I get nothing. It's just... What's going on? It's like, I get nothing. Brian Dunn and Ethan Ralph have sub-threads on Kiwi Farms with hundreds of pages. And what about me? I've been in this for many years now, and it's just Soberman. Soberman posting Discord stuff that is irrelevant. And clips that are not even relevant anymore. And puts it on a subpar website Because you know that the Kiwis aren't going to let him post my shit on their site. Josh Connor Moon doesn't care about small timers. So I'm jealous. Mormon Shaggy, Gahul, the Dymo, Rudy Coleman, and DJ Axel all get, it's, of course, their subreddit or their subthread on Kiwi Farms is significantly, infinitesimally smaller compared to Ethan Ralph. Although it's still in the Ralph verse. But it's still a good 60 pages of content. And what about me? What about little old Forge Warhammer? I get nothing. I get the bottom of the barrel. DJ Axel has 990 subs, and he's got like a 60-page Kiwi Farm subthread. And he has alleged that Ghost Politics has stream sniped his streams. And then I get 1,700 subs and 2 million views, and I get this boring, subpar subthread. Even the Dark Ninja and Bad Boy Tragic have substantial amounts of subthreads of negative shit, of just spurgs talking shit about Negs did this, DC Meteor Girl did this, or Dark Ninja did this. But what about me? 2 posts on Kiwi Farms, one from Strawberry Douche that's irrelevant, and another one from some guy just talking about stuff from 2 years ago when I was talking about the sector to Music Biz Marty. And that's it. And then there's Onion Farms, which is like essentially, if Kiwi Farms was Reddit, Onion Farms would essentially be like, it would be like 4chan. And it's this dingy, horribly designed, horribly graphically maintained, very low-quality website that's a ripoff of Kiwi Farms. And by the way, Kiwi Farms is essentially a stolen ripoff of 8chan. Got mad at Josh Connor Moon or something, so they went over and made their own forum or whatever. But even there, even on that shit, even in that pile of utter garbage of a site, Dark Ninja and Impressa get relatively impressive subthreads. Like, Dark Ninja's thread on Onion Farms is like 60 pages. And I don't even have a full page. Okay? I've talked to Kraut and T, I've talked to Brian Dunn, and I've talked to Godwinson, and I've kind of somewhat interacted with Ralph. I've talked to DJ Axel, not that Axel's really that important. I've talked to Drunken Surfer, and all I get to have is Soberman making a subthread about me that nobody is going to ever contribute to. It's like, it's not even a quarter of a web page long. It's about 5 postings, and it's nothing. They don't know nothing about my lore. I figured that Warhammer than what he lets on. And he can't even set up a good subthread. It's not even Dark Ninja or Metalorian had set that up. If they had been the ones to set that thread up, they would have done a much better job than Soberman. But no, it's just Soberman posting stuff that people have already tried to post from years ago, and it's just lackluster. You should have tried to open that subthread in 2023, and I imagine that you would have gotten some pretty relatively good feedback. I still don't think it would have been as good as Ethan Ralph or Impressa or Dark Ninja or who else? Bad Boy Tragic or like Music Biz Marty's subthreads. It still would have paled in comparison to that or Dark Ninjas. But I mean, thanks, man. Nobody cares in 2023. I mean, 2025. Maybe if you had done that in 2023 or even 2024, when people in Discord were going back and forth with me about that stuff, and you had opened that Onion Farms thread, it might have been successful. But it's like it's almost the end of 2025. It's about to be October, and nobody cares about it, dude. Like, come on, man. Nobody cares in 2025. The people that watch me are not really people that are from the sector. It's just a few. It's a very small number of just a few people that watch me and watch Ralph or watch Drunken Surfer or who watch Axel. And the people that watch me, they watch me for other things that are unrelated to that. And the people that watch them don't really watch me. So it's really a disconnected, very decentralized Ouroboros. It's a very decentralized Ouroboros. So thank you, man. I mean, you're not going to get anything out of it. If anything, the Onion Farm mods, the moderators, will probably take the subthread that you made on me and move it to the Brian Dunn subthread. Or make it part of another subthread, or they'll just probably delete it altogether. So, thank you for the effort. It's very lackluster, and you need a lot of work to do. It needs a lot of work done. I'm not going to help you because it's going to be shit about me and stuff, and obviously I'm not going to give you advice on how to fix it. But thanks anyways, I guess. I mean, I'm not going to ever show my channel, what the subthread is, because there's nothing there that's funny. If it was funny, even if it was at my own expense and it was funny, I'd laugh at it. And I wouldn't care if somebody else that I knew laughed at it, but it's just not, Soberman. So go delete, Soberman, just go delete that subthread. You could post it maybe on the Brian Dunn or the Dark Ninja subthread or something, or a related subthread that kind of is more incapacitates the whole sector. But nobody's going to be reading that shit. You got your work cut out for you. Man, DJ Axel and Mormon Shaggy, they get like this 67-page Kiwi Farms subthread. And Brian Dunn has like a 1,000 or more subthread on Kiwi Farms. And even Dark Ninja, even though Dark Ninja did not make it to Kiwi Farms, he does have a lackluster, subpar, sub-tier, but still impressive for what it is, Onion Farm subthread. And I get nothing. I get nothing for all the effort and energy and time I put into it. I get nothing. Damn. Let's see here. Code of Truth says, sup. What's up, Code of Truth? Forge Gang. What's up, Code of Truth? Rick Perry says, we all be hard mofos up in this shit. Hell, that's right, man. Justice for Warhammer. Justice for the Warhammer. I deserve more than this. I deserve more than guys with horrible microphones with background noise and echo chamber sounds. They're like, screeching into their video. Screeching. Dude, I deserve more. I think that I would deserve more than just that. And this is all I get. Nobody's going to read that sub-thread, Soberman. You wasted your time. Let's see here. Interdimensional Lizard says, you'll have to do something scandalous now to justify the threat. That is so true. I'll come up with something. Hopefully I don't go to jail for it, but I'll come up with something. Maximilian Spurg says, Josh Troon fears Warhammer. True, and he is a tranny. He is very much a troon, and he is taking HRT. I remember seeing a segment of Ralph doing a coverage of Josh Moon driving in a pickup truck or something. And Ethan Ralph was reacting to it. Anyways, that's about it. Like, oh, DJ Axel gets an 80-page subthread on Kiwi Farms. And I get stuck with this on Onion Farms. And it's not even like the Onion Farms thread that Impressa and Dark Ninja have. It's just a pile of garbage. It's a pile of shit. Oh well, that's all.